can do is when men are weird to you out in public is that you fucking bark at them. That's all I'm fucking asking you to do is bark at men. Okay, happy St. Patrick's Days, guys! Yay! Woo! I hope you're all wearing green so that I don't have to come over and pinch you. You're getting pinched because you're supposed to be wearing green because it's St. Patrick's Day, and I need you to lock in, okay? St. Patrick's Day, very fun holiday. I made corned beef and cabbage and potatoes, like double-baked potatoes, yeah, and carrots and soda bread. I bought Lucky Charms for the morning, okay? We take St. Patrick's Day very seriously in my house, okay? My roommate, she got visited by the leprechauns. See, when she opened her door, there was a green plastic tablecloth around her door so she couldn't exit it, and then pushed in between the door and that tablecloth were balloons. Also, 12 balloons flooded into her room when she opened her door. And that was not me. That was the leprechauns. The leprechauns got her! And I said, Vicky, you weren't wearing green, okay? And that's why the leprechauns did that to you. I made sure to wear green last night. So the leprechauns, look, they didn't do it to my door. They didn't do it to my door. I wore green last night. So it's not my fault that the leprechauns got you. And the whole house is decorated in green leprechaun stuff now. Because you weren't wearing green last night and the leprechauns got in. That's how it works. That's how it works. And so, yeah, I'm gonna have very Irish dinner. We're gonna have Guinness. Lots of little pranky pranks, being pulled all day. I love St. Patrick's Day. Really gotta be one of the best holidays. A holiday about, like, being mischievous? I think so. What that gotta do with me? Fucking everything, dog! Oh my god! I love being a scampering little guy. I love being, like, evil and mischievous. Like, I'm evil and mischievous in, like, a fun, silly way. That's, like, super fun and silly. But also, I'm mischievous in a way, like, if you betray me, I'm gonna give your name to the Fae. And I've done it. I've done it. Those of you who are not doing well, the Fae know what you did, okay? I didn't have to do anything. I went to the Fae and I was like, listen, dog, this is what happened. So, like, if you just have opinions about that, like, let that be your will. But, like, here's this person's name and address. And they love me. Dude, the Fae love me. The Fae? Twin. Surely I'm an evil little fairy. Surely I'm an evil little witch fairy. Guys, did you ever think about that? Guys, I'm, like, when I was a kid, me and my sister had this hand puppet, and it was a fairy. She was in all pink. And we called her the bad fairy. And when my younger brother would misbehave, he would get visited by the bad fairy. And it's not like it would harm him in any way. The bad fairy would just come out and be like, Nolan, you are being a bad little boy. He hated the bad fairy. Was so scared of the bad fairy. And then me and my sister, we changed our contacts in each other's phones with the bad fairy. So as soon as he started misbehaving, one of us would call the other and we'd be like, Nolan, oh my gosh, it's the bad fairy. Like, she's calling to check on if you're being bad. Like, you gotta stop. Like, she's calling. And he was so scared of the bad fairy. Oh my gosh. And now I've grown up and I've become the bad fairy. That's fucking crazy. Guys, I'm the bad fairy. Like, I really am. That would be like a spunky little terrible, like, Disney movie. You know, like, all the dog shit Disney movies that have been being released, like, with that fuck-ass animation style? That'd be me. I'm like, the bad fairy, but is she really all that evil? Like, and she'd be like, I just want to be understood. It's one of those AI ones. Like, that's what it's giving. And the AI Disney commercials are too funny because that's just, like, what Disney commercials feel like nowadays. Like, they just feel the same as that. Like, the same level of imagination went into both of those things. I feel a little bad saying that because I do feel like real artists are, like, making movies with that, but, like, I don't think I know enough about the Disney animation studios to critique it, but all I know is the movies fucking are dog shit, dog, and I don't want to watch them. No, thank you. Will I be sat for Frozen 3? Yes! I will be in that theater! have never got to see... Frozen is one of my favorite film franchises of all time. Never got to see it in theaters. Never. Both times I missed out. Fucked up! Fucked up, dog! That's fucked up! Okay? And at some point, I need to get cast in the tour of the Frozen tour. Because couldn't I be Anna or Elsa? I really could be either. You know I want to be Elsa so bad, but I'm also so comedically funny. And I would also fuck up Anna. But I want to be Elsa so bad, but realistically, I'm kind of probably a better Anna just because I'm so fucking funny. Also, I didn't introduce myself. Hi, I'm your host, Brinly. This is Brinly's Yapathon, and we're going to keep doing what I was doing, except a little bit more structured, because I have real shit I want to talk about. Guys, I'm fucking pissed off! Brinly, when are you not pissed off? I always am. I'm tired and angry, but somebody should be, as Halsey said. Dog! I'm pissed off! Sick of it! You guys are like, Brinly, where have you been? You didn't upload last week. Well, I was sick. And after I was sick, I was sunburnt. And then before I was sick, I was home for like a week. And I had to deal with conservatives. Okay? And we all know what happens when I have to go home and deal with conservatives. I remember what a godforsaken place this is. Okay? So here's the timeline of events. And that's why my podcast last week got uploaded, or 2 weeks ago got uploaded late. Because Reese and I were traveling. Because we had to go home to do some family stuff. You know, we had to go home to stand on some business. So we went home, and, you know, that always puts me on my goddamn hamster wheel. I learned a lot when I went home. I always learn a lot when I go home. Then I got back from being home, and I got sick as hell, so I couldn't record the podcast because I had literally no voice at all, and I was dying. It was horrible. And then as soon as I started feeling better and I got over being sick, I'm starting to go to the gym again. I feel very motivated about the gym. I have only been once, but I had a very good time, and it makes me feel very motivated to keep going. It's also springtime, so I feel better about getting being outside to get my body moving, which is making me feel better about life. But then I did the tanning bed, and I did not adjust the settings. I did not think about it, and I'm pretty sure it was all the way up. Got horribly sunburnt in the fucking tanning bed, because I'm stupid. But now I look dark as hell for being a little white girl, which is, the thing about it is, here's the conversation I've been having with my roommate, because my roommate's Puerto Rican, and she just got back from Puerto Rico. And it's funny, because, we're dead-ass the same color right now. And we're just talking about how it's St. Patrick's Day, so I'm Irish. Obviously, I'm real decked out in the Irish decor. But I'm also part Indonesian, if you guys don't know about that. My grandfather was born in Indonesia in the 60s. Then he came over to America when he was a little kid. So, that's not that long ago. But I'm mostly Irish. Most of my DNA is Irish. But that Indonesian's in there, and it's weird because I gotta research, Asian skin types and, how to take care of them better, because I feel like I've been doing, this was the conversation me and my roommate were having, because I was I feel like I've been doing white girl skincare routines my whole life, and I just feel like they don't work for me. So I need to look into, what's the difference of, how, because of my skin will get dark in the summer, but then switch to being extremely pale. I just don't know what the maintenance for that is, and now I've been doing we're going to talk about this. Obviously, I speak about race a lot because I think it's really important, and I think it's literally the foundations of, all the problems in this country, and I just think it's a really important conversation for white people to be having, and it really fucking annoys me when the white people can't have class consciousness, for real. They understand billionaires bad, but then they don't want to think that's a more complex thing than that, and Anyways, so, I gotta look up, Asian girl skincare routines, because it's weird, because in the winter, I'm very pale. I get so pale, but then in the summer, I can get, like, pretty fucking dark. Like, seriously, like, you'll see this summer. Like, it's me and my siblings, like, especially my dad. Like, my dad gets dark as hell, but it's just weird because I have a very white girl experience, so then people just, like, I guess facial structurally enough, like, I look more white, but then my skin will still get pretty dark, but then it's weird because so many white girls, like, tan now that, like, it just looks like I'm one of those white girls who, like, really, really tans, and it's like, no, like, I just get that tan. So I gotta learn, I just feel like I was always raised, and my mom is white. Like, my dad's the Indonesian one. So, it's not a fault to my mom at all, but she just very much can take care of her, like, she tans a little because she's a little, Portuguese. So she tans a little, but it's still, like, kind of just, like, white girl skincare routine, which is, like, you know, it's, like, whatever. We weren't having those conversations around beauty standards, or beauty whatever, back then, so it's, like, whatever. But that's something I need to figure out, so that's on my to-do list, because I tanned so fucking much, and that fucking tan, I did burn first, so that was annoying, but now that I'm over the burn, it's just, like, I'm gonna start getting darker probably pretty quickly, so I just want to figure that out now that I'm consciously thinking about it as an adult. But I got sunburned so bad, I was really out of it for, like, days. I felt fucking fried. I felt like fucking SpongeBob and Patrick at the end of the 2003 SpongeBob movie. Like, I want to go see Cooper, yeah. Like, that was me for 3 days. So, in the midst of all that happening, also what happened is one of my roommates abruptly moved out. I think maybe I talked about that the week whatever, because I lived with my best friend and her boyfriend, and now he's gone. Bye, buddy. So that was happening, and in general, so just having a lot of conversations recently about, like, man behavior, and with the shit that just happened when I was home. Unfortunately, Brinley's really thinking about how men behave and being like, these fucking hypocrites, and developing opinions, furthering my opinions, moving farther in the extreme category of hating men. That's what I've been doing. Guys, I've been pink pilling myself for the past 2 weeks since I last spoke to you, because again, that one podcast was pre-recorded for my travels, so I haven't sat down in front of a mic in like 2 weeks, so really sitting down in front of the mic every week really helps me, I feel like, keep my brain organized, because I'm like, what are the hard-hitting things that I'm thinking about in life right now? Anyways, oh my gosh, like, yap, I'm fucking saying nothing. I'm gonna move on to my next fucking point. So, I know I say it every fucking week when I'm like, I've had it with men, and men this, and men that, No, I'm doing it again, because you still fucking suck. Every week, I think maybe they won't suck so much, and then they fucking do. That's actually not true. I always expect you to suck. I saw some videos today. I was getting suggested on my TikTok, like, videos of, like, men approaching women, and the women, like, you know, getting out their phones to record the interaction to either feel safe or just to be like, look at this freak. And in those videos, ladies, I have a request. I need you to start being way fucking crazier back to them. Like, I need you to understand when, like, men approach you and just walk up to you and say, like, crazy ass shit. Like, say something, like, you have to stop sane washing that experience. It happens so much that we normalize it. But, like, when men walk up to you and start saying freak Bob ass shit, go, like, start barking. Like, bring back barking. I want videos of you bitches barking at these men. I don't want, like, he's being a freak to you. And, like, again, I understand women want to, like, they don't want to provoke a man because they want to feel safe. But it's, like, this is how they keep us in this cycle, is because we don't stand up to them. And, like, we have to, like, I keep saying it, but it's like, we can put all of our support into politics as much as we humanly want to. Like, we can be voting correctly, we can be staying up to date, but we have to be asking ourselves, how can we take action about this in our lives every day? And, like, ladies and men too, like, the good men who listen to this, it's like, you have to keep, like, these these freak men around us accountable. You have to identify it, and you have to have the courage to say something about it. And, like, I that's more so, like, if you're a man listening to this, like, that's the approach I'm asking you to take, where it's, like, you need to be more normal about your intervention. You be like, you know, man, like, that's not okay. Like, just call out the behavior, like, identify it, and then, like, you know, if you have to embarrass them a little bit, I'm always down for embarrassing men, so do that. But ladies, I think you need to get unfucking hinged with it, and gay people, okay? Gay people and women. Fucking get unhinged with it. Like, if a man comes up to you and says some freak Bob shit, I just heard my voice doing that. But that's what I want. I want that level of, like, I'm so much crazier than you, dog. Like, oh my god. Like, I don't know if I talked about it a couple of weeks ago when I yelled at that man on the train, but, like, that unlocked something in me. And, like, oh my god, like, I'm just gonna start making men more uncomfortable than they make me. Like, okay, you wanna play that game? You wanna be a freak? I'm gonna call you ugly. And I'm gonna call you bald. It's gonna happen! I'm gonna point out something you're visibly insecure about. Like, oh my god. Like, oh my god. Because also, like, maybe this whole story is gonna sound super vain, but I asked my roommate's also beautiful, but, like, I've been asking my female friends, and apparently this is just, like, a thing, and I didn't realize it because I'm blind. Guys, I'm blind. I've had 4 eye surgeries. I can't see anything. And I was talking to my boyfriend. I was joking with him because a girl was checking him out on the train, and I was like, I was joking about it. And then he was, like, some joke about, like, oh, like, I'll fight or whatever. And then he was like, no, don't do that. Like, if I had that mentality, I'd be fighting someone every 30 seconds. And I was like, laughed, like, haha. But I was like, oh, like, you're being hyperbolic. Like, you don't actually mean, like, every 30 seconds, right? Because I was like, that would be kind of freaky. Like, ugh. And he was like, maybe not every 30 seconds. He's like, but, like, every minute. Yeah, like, if we're walking on the street or, like, we're out in public. Like, yeah, I feel like a man will, like, take time to stop and look at you. Like, you know, it pretty much happens, like, every couple of minutes. And I was like, what the fuck? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the helly? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And then been asking my female friends, and they're like, yeah, that's, like, pretty much how often, like, men look at you. Like, or talking about themselves, too. And I'm just like, I'm so blind, I didn't even know. Like, that's, like, fucking weird. That's fucking weird that men are that, like, why are you that, like, alert all the time, like, analyzing women? What is that? Like, that's where I'm saying, like, okay, we have it normalized because we're really used to it. Okay, why aren't we treating that for, like, what it is? That's fucking creepy. That's fucking weird that just most men have their brains on in some sort of crazy way where they're literally analyzing every woman they look at, like, really staring at us. Like, that's predatory. That's, like, analyzing, like, where's a target I'd like to, like, approach. Fucking weird. That's what it is. That's what it is. So when a man's staring at you, like, fucking make him more uncomfortable because he's actually being a freak. And even though it's like, oh, well, he only looked at me for, like, 30 seconds. Okay, well, every minute of his life, he's doing that to a different woman. So it's not just 30 seconds. It's all day happening to women. But you have to think of us all, like, together. The togetherness of it. That's what you have to think about. This is the point I'm trying to make. You have to think about us as, like, women as an entity. So it's actually, no, he was looking at women all day, being creepy towards women all day. When you realize that, then it makes it pretty fucking easy to be like, bark, 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 woof, woof, woof. And I'm not going to do it again because I just actually really heard my voice barking, but that's how much I want to bark at men. I want men to just be afraid to look at women. Like, I want them to be like, the last 6 bitches I looked at crazy like that barked at me. And I don't want people in public to, like, think, oh, like, you know, there has to be societal, social repercussions, and I am advocating and screaming and crying and kicking the floor, asking women to, like, we need to be more feral. Like, nothing is normal right now. Like, do you remember when we were fucking kids and we were reading about World War II and we were reading about what was happening, and the teacher was like, what would you have done if you were living through those times? And everyone wanted to be like, I would do the right thing. Okay, well, time has come to find out if that's true. And I don't think it, like, or they'd be like, I'd be socially outraged, like, outwardly, and the teacher would be like, well, you really gotta think about it. Like, there was a lot at risk, like, if you had things at risk, like, you did it, and everyone's like, I would do it. No, y'all fucking were lying, because I remember in elementary school and high school, when y'all would all stand up and be like, I would have done the right thing if I lived through World War II, then fucking do it now! Oh my god. All of you were saying that in class, okay? And now, look at y'all. Fucking embarrassing. Pick yourselves up. So, and I knew y'all were fake in high school, okay? And now we're grown, and you're still fake, and you still suck, okay? Oh my god. Like, I just fucking... So it's like, ladies and queers and people of color, we have to remember that while we have lived through a long fucking history of oppression, and so even though technically our quality of life is still better than maybe 100 years ago, like, we can't normalize that was normal 100 years ago either. Like, we still need to be as horrified. Like, there is something about, like, just accepting that the past was so fucking horrifying, and you do have to constantly remind yourself and immerse yourself in it so that we can be a catalyst to push change forward, which is fucking horrible, but it's also, like, all of those little movements to improve our lives were done to stay within our living memory and be retold so that we could, you know, always look back on that and then use it as a catalyst forward. So it's like we just have to continue to immerse ourselves in our history. Like, right now is the time to be immersed in history and then, like, have the courage to just, like, again, like, all I'm asking you to do is bark at men who stare at you. All I'm asking is for some fucking social outrage, and I know that, like, that's a thing, that's what drives me insane, because, like, there's so much social outrage online, it's all you fucking see, but at the same time, like, I need to see you bitches doing something actionable, and the very least that you can do is when men are weird to you out in public, is that you fucking bark at them. That's all I'm fucking asking you to do, is bark at men, and I need to become a trend. I need us all to be doing it, and so a man is scared. Like, they'll learn real fucking fast if we all start barking at them, guys, okay? Like, we have to start barking at them. I need a barking movement to start, okay? I'm not playing around. If a man who stares, like, he's staring at women all day, he's out in public, and he's just ogling women all fucking day, okay? Being a creep all fucking day because he's never gonna get some, so he has to go home and beat off to, like, I perved at women all day. Like, that's what's happening. Like, they can't get a girlfriend, they can't have sex with anyone other than their body pillow and their AI porn girlfriend, okay? So what do? Is they feel that they're literally, like, that's why, like, guys, you have to think about it this way, and you have to be this angry, because it's like, they're out in public, and they're trying to make women feel small all day, so that when they go home and beat off, they have something to beat off to, of, like, the power kick of, like, ooh, I made a woman uncomfortable, like, I had power over her, which is just, like, fucking gross, and you're an incel and a loser, but, like, a lot of these men who are like, a lot of them, like, we have, a study was done recently where it was, like, men nowadays are more conservative than men in the 50s. Like, a large percentage of them, like, of the Republican voting men. So, it's like we have some extremely progressive men now, which is great, but then we have a larger margin than in the 50s of extremely conservative men. Like, it's something like, in the 50s, it was something like far-right conservatives, it was like 17% of men, and now it's 24% of men in the country, okay? Like, that is, like, nearly double the amount. Like, 15% more, basically. Like, that's fucking crazy, because we have a huge population, that's a lot of guys, and it's like, we have to lock in, and we have to have basically, I don't actually know what the statistic of, like, the population is, but that's a huge chunk of the population, guys. That's a huge fucking chunk. So, it's like, let's just say, and I think this is generous to be like, only a fourth of men are incels. And then maybe the other half just really fucking suck. And then the other 25%, so, like, ranked tiers. Like, break it up into 4 categories, basically. And then that other 25% just, like, they still suck, but, like, they're not blatant about it as much. You know? Like, that's a spectrum. And then maybe 25% are actually good, but probably still, like, not informed. Like, they're, like, not harming anyone, but they are harming us by, like, being fucking useless, you know? So that's kind of the spectrum of men. And then there's, like, the small, like, 5% of men that actually, like, goated. That's what we're dealing with right now. So, like, never, that's what I'm saying, like, don't worry about, oh, but what if I'm mean to one of the nice ones? Probably not. Statistically, probably not. Like, those were real statistics I just gave you, based off of fucking nothing and only my lived experience, but I promise you they're correct. And then, like, you're taking a 1 in 4 chance, basically, that they're a Nazi. So, like, yeah, really, let's make a Nazi uncomfortable today. Like, we have to start inconveniencing them. Like, they inconvenience us in our everyday life. So, they need to know what that feels like. We gotta, like, you know? We have to be actionable, and all I'm asking you to do is bark at men. All I'm asking you to do is bark at men, okay? Anytime a man makes you feel weird, bark at them, or just point blank, like, look at them like this. Why did you say that? Like, we all have to start doing it, like, and we need a 4B move, like, okay, a 4B movement in America. That's what I'm advocating for. But also shout out that this is, this group of 30-year-olds right now, current 30-year-olds, only 50% of, like, women in their 30s have kids, which is the lowest it's ever been in this country. So, shout out, ladies! We're doing God's work. Stop having babies. And I want that number to keep going down, okay? Come on. Like, I like to see it. This is good shit, ladies. This is what I want to be seeing. And yeah, the problem is then it's only going to be dumb conservatives who are having kids. Yeah, that's going to be a whole different problem for a different day. But we'll figure that out later. Right now, I'm just glad women aren't, like, young women are not, like, forcing children upon themselves. Thank God. I fucking love that. Yeah. So that's my real call and my real plea to be mean to men. Because they need it. They need it. Like, they want girlfriends so bad, like, okay, we're trying to do them a favor. We're trying to teach them how to act so that maybe they can have one someday. You gotta think about it like that, guys. Really, you're helping them. Really, you're helping them, okay? You're helping them. I just don't... guys, I'm gonna ask you this a million more times. Just, I need you to bully men. I need you to bully the freaks of the world, okay? I'm advocating for bullying. I am. I'm in a Regina George era, I believe. That's what I'm trying to, like, come into, okay? Except mean to men, not to women, okay? Like, Regina George, if she really fucking believed in the magic of friendship. If Regina George and Twilight Sparkle could fuse into one person... Dog, that's literally me. I've never come up with that analogy before, but if you really think about it really fucking hard, I'm like if Regina George and Twilight Sparkle, these two are lesbians, by the way, they're my lesbian moms, okay? Regina George and Twilight Sparkle, and that's kind of Twilight Sparkle and Sunset Shimmer, when you really think about it, and that's why I like that. Right now we're talking about My Little Pony. Yeah, I'm kind of like... if they had a daughter, me when I make my pony Sona. I'm gonna make my pony Sona, guys, and there's nothing you can fucking stop me from doing it. She's gonna have pink and orange hair. Yes, the pink and orange hair. Like her mom, but inverse, like more pink and then pink with the orange. Yes. Yes, with a light pink. Like I'm a very light pink, like pink pony. Oh my gosh, wait, no. Is that literally the girl at the end of the show? It might be, and I'm stupid. Oh, she's me. That's me. No, because she's Twilight Sparkle and Sunset Shimmer's kid. And if you ever watch My Little Pony, what the fuck are you doing? Get up right now and go watch My Little Pony. Friendship is magic. I'm not fucking with you. Go do that shit. Don't piss me off. Do not piss me off, okay? Don't do it. Fucking had it. Go watch My Little Pony and be mean to men. That's like the presidential campaign I'm gonna run on someday. People of America, it is I, Brinly Schreier from New York City, running to be President of the United States, here to release my campaign slogan, be mean to men and watch My Little Pony. I'm Brinly Schreier, and I approve this message. Okay. Let's fucking move on. I think the new year is at a stupid time. I think January is a horrible time to celebrate New Year's. I think it's fake. As Candace Owens says, I think it's fake and gay. I haven't been watching Candace Owens, I promise. I've been watching Jennifer Welch make fun of Candace Owens. And honestly, Candace Owens saying fake and gay, like, apparently she says that a lot. Surely I'm gonna steal that. Surely, sorry, that's fucking hilarious. Like, oh my gosh, and then also, guys, I forgot to mention, I just totally came back to me. So I have one friend, one of my best friends. She's an absolute, like, online internet stalker. Like, if you comment something mean on my videos, my best friend is gonna figure out who you are and send it to me unprompted. Like, so, okay, the guy who kept commenting holy chopped on my videos, turns out I went to high school with him. I don't know. I don't know who this guy is also. Like, my friend, she was like, she just texted me, she was like, I figured out who was calling you holy chopped. And I was like, bitch, what the hell? Like, I didn't ask. Like, I didn't ask who it was. I just thought it was an online internet rando. She was like, nah, we went to high school with him. Shows me his profile. Like, found it through someone else. Uses the same name tag. So it's like, I guess you're not very smart, bro. She was like, see, we went to high school with him. Like, shows me his name. And I'm like, I don't remember that person. I was like, that's really weird that somebody from high school just really doesn't fucking, like, wants to troll me on the internet like that. And I'm like, I deadass don't remember you at all. Like, wow. He was, like, profile picture, or the picture on his, school thing, I was like, not school thing, like, Instagram, I was like, oh, give me school shooter vibes. Like, I was on his list, dog. Like, and I avoided that shit. Like, damn. My school was actually, like, my high school theater teacher told me this, that, because she was always telling me shit that she shouldn't be. She was always speaking on the school administration. I knew the inner workings of that shit. I knew shit I was not supposed to know. But basically they had this, like, meeting with them where they talked about, like, school shootings, and, like, they were saying that, like, our school was, like, fit the character description of, like, schools that have school shootings, like, highest in our state. Like, most likely, basically they were like, your school is the most likely to have a school shooting, and they made them do, like, school shooting training, which is fucking crazy. Like, dystopia, hellscape, whatever, girl boss. Like, oh my god, that's crazy that they made them do that. But I was like, ooh, so I make that joke, like, not in an insensitive way, in, like, a dead-ass way, where, like, I'm telling you, like, the fact, I really, truly have so much anxiety about my one brother's has his senior year, and then my other brother's going into high school next year, but I cannot wait for him to be out of school, because, like, school is so dangerous. Like, it's really scary. Like, because school shootings are so fucking common, and they're, like, we're not even talking about them anymore because of what is going on in the world, which is just so fucking depraved. But I seriously mean that. Like, I looked at that guy's photo, and I was like, I just really feel like I was just targeted by incels so much in high school. Like, I really look back and I'm like, the sexual harassment that I had throughout all of high school, and, like, the degrading shit that was said to me is just, like, outstandingly cruel and, like, fucking insane that was happening to me at such a young age by also people my age that, like, you know, because they had learned this shit online and they were just repeating it. Like, so fucking depraved. But it's also just, like, I'm like, damn, like, y'all kept up with me. Like, this guy, like, I have no idea who he is. Like, you kept up with me. Which is then when I'm like, why do these other goons who I actually interacted with still keep up with me? I'm like, oh, right, because none of these losers have anything fucking going on. None of y'all have shit going on. You're still just jacking off. Like, fuck y'all, shut up and you're gay. Shut up and you're gay. It's not even that I care that you're gay. It's just that, like, you really care about being perceived as gay, and, like, that men shouldn't be gay, and you really care, you really think men who are gay should be called out, so I'm calling you out. You're gay, all of you. Like, oh my god, if you have a man cave and are like, weekends are for the boys, okay, then you want a boyfriend. You want an excuse to have a boyfriend. You don't like women, and that's okay. Like, all of y'all be like, my Roman Empire, I think about the Roman Empire so much. Okay, why do y'all like Rome so much? Because they were allowed to be gay. They were allowed to fuck each other in the butts, and that's what you guys want to do, and that's okay. And if you would just accept that, we'd have a lot less fucking problems in the world. Like, you're gay, and, like, again, I don't care that you're gay, but you really care, so, like, let's just talk about the elephant in the room, that you are gay, all of you! I was speaking about the Roman calendar. We got back to Rome. I don't think the new year should be in January. It's fucking cold. You don't feel encouraged to start new things then. You're like, actually, I'm really tired. I want to rest. And I don't celebrate Easter because, like, I'm not, like, Christian like that. Like, I actually have been, like, on a huge, like, learning Christian mythology, like, brain rot. That's something I do sometimes, where I just really learn about Christianity, because I just find it really interesting. And it's something I've been, you know, also with the current political environment, I love to be actually able to discuss and argue the Bible, because I love making conservative Christians, like, make them realize I know the Bible better than them. It's really fucking funny to me. But yeah, the new year, so instead of Easter, I think I'm just going to start celebrating Easter as, like, New Year's, because that's when it's like, okay, it's sunny out, now I can get moving and do that, like, and start treating this whole beginning of the year as, like, a rest period, because if you push yourself too hard during that time of year, it's like, you just are so susceptible to getting sick, and then that fucks up your whole year. So it's like, that's a time to, like, actually, like, rest and reset, think about your plans, and then New Year's is gonna be Easter. Like, that's the way I'm going about it from now, guys. Like, fuck this shit, because that makes way more fucking sense. Or I'm gonna start treating New Year's like my birthday, because my birthday's in April. My birthday's April 10th, so guys, New Year's on April 10th. Let's all celebrating that as a national holiday, my birthday. I'm such a gem and an icon to this nation. I'm starting the New Year's on Easter / my birthday, because that's how I see it, guys. It just makes more sense that way. It's like, oh, the planet's waking up and getting ready to go and grow and, you know, create. Okay, doesn't that make sense to do that in April? Why are we fighting the seasons? Why are we trying to do that in January? Like, guys, the fucking calendar's even patriarchy. Like, fuck this shit. Like, that doesn't, like, who is starting new things in January? Sure as fuck not nobody. That's a time to stay home and do a whole lot of nothing. Okay? Holy shit, dog. Like, I'm trying to just reframe my time and, like, stop living literally on a man's calendar. Like, I gotta maybe just make my own. Like, actually make my own. And then I could, like, put it online and you guys could also use it. Guys. Okay. What do we think? Make a Brinly calendar of, like, stuff to, like, I always give myself little mini projects. Like, I can never just chill and work on one thing at a time. I'm like, ooh, this, and that. And then I start a million projects, and then I don't finish them. My art teacher in high school used to give me shit about that. She signed my yearbook. Really my favorite teacher in high school. Shout out Miss Boffman. I think her last name has changed. So, I don't know what it is now, but I heard it did. Anyways, shout out my high school art teacher. Literally my favorite teacher in high school. And she wrote in my yearbook, like, Brinly, like, you're so creative, and I love your creative spirit. I'm excited to see what you do in life. Like, just remember, like, if you start a project, to finish it. Because I would never finish my projects in a class. I'd get too ambitious, and then I'd run out of time, and I would never finish them. And that is surely what I struggle with now. And that's the ADHD that I'm learning to manage and control. I've been learning a lot about ADHD and autism recently, and just about, like, how to, as a high-functioning person, how to basically be even higher functioning. I don't know how to describe it. But just, like, reduce burnout and increase, like, productivity in a way that doesn't feel tedious or will burn you out. That sort of thing. But no, my art teacher in high school clocked me. I can never fucking finish a project. The only thing I've ever been able to finish is, like, stuff for theater, because there's a deadline. I think that's why I'm really good at theater, is because you have to work within a deadline. You just have to get that shit done. You can't sit around and perfect it. You actually have to just go out and present it. And that's what I loved about theater. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to work on some of my projects and actually get some of them finished. Maybe I have a short one, and if I just get it done and finish it, then that'll maybe make me feel better about finishing other things. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks for Brinly to think about. that was me giving myself notes. Do y'all ever give yourself notes? Like, in theater, we would give ourselves acting notes, but, like, in life, like, I almost feel like I give my own character. Like, I really hyper-analyze myself. Like, also, if y'all aren't hyper-analyzing yourselves, like, yes, it's torturous, but, like, surely we gotta be doing it. Surely we have to be hyper-analyzing ourselves. Like, if you don't think about your own, like, there's this weird thing about people, like, society has tricked people into thinking, like, they're not allowed to think about themselves because that's conceited, and it's like, no, you live in your brain and your body, and you control this meat sack, and you have to go do shit out in society, in the world, and go about your life. So, like, shouldn't you be, like, hyper intentional with everything you do? Like, and if that involves some hyper analyzing. Like, people have been tricked. Like, that's because society's tricked us to not analyze our own thoughts and told us that's conceited so that we don't think for ourselves. Like, I just really need y'all to start thinking for yourselves. Oh my god. And, like, I guess you as a viewer, I don't want you to feel like I'm bitching at you, because I assume if you're listening to this, you're agreeing with me, but I like to give you some thoughts and some talking points about people just out in the world that are driving you fucking insane, so that you can reiterate it, and then also bitch at them when you come face to face with them. Always, like, guys, I need all of us who are progressive to start being more confrontational. We can't just be moral and humph. Because that's the vibe right now. Like, with everything going on globally, it is very, and I guess I'm mostly talking to my white audience, but it feels like a whole lot of humph right now. Like, society, like, I hate the direction things are going, but there's nothing I can do. No, like, y'all gotta be hyper-vigilant. We have to be hyper-vigilant, and we have to start really addressing, like, this one's for me, addressing our spending habits and addressing, like, where, like, we gotta start thinking about money as voting. Like, every time you use your money, because money's so weaponized against us, every time you spend your dollar, like, basically, you're basically endorsing how that product is made and shipped to you and given to you. And you have to start thinking about, like, your money as a vote, and I have to start doing that too, and be much more intentional with where I'm spending my money. Because I don't have the best spending habits, just because I feel like I'm learning financial literacy in my 20s, okay? I did not do well in economics in high school. And money is math, and so I'm trying to reframe it in more of, like, so that's why I cannot be convinced to, like, spend correctly by just numbers. Like, if you're like, well, it's gonna cost this much, I'm like, oh, well, I don't really understand math or numbers, so that means nothing to me. Oh. So I have to say to myself, like, I have to view it from a moral standpoint of, like, what am I endorsing? You have to, like, think more highly of yourself, guys. Be like, what am I endorsing with my money? Where my money's going? What am I saying I stand for? Okay? Like, and clearly, like, I have a problem with consumerism. The doll shelf is right here. You can't even see all of it. It's fucking massive. This doll shelf is ridiculous. So, surely, I like capitalism a little bit because I love collecting my trinkets. But that's the inner autism goblin in me, and I fight her. I have to fight her. So it's like, yeah, I endorse my trinkets. But just, like, other shit, like, certain clothing brands, and, you know, I'm trying to make sure I'm pretty much, like, only thrifting and, you know, just consuming in a way I want to be consuming. But I think that's also, in speaking about being hyper-intentional, like, guys, let's think about that. I have not podcasted in so long. I feel like this is, like, whoop-de-doo all over the place, but, sorry. And that's what it is. It's fucking cold in this room. Okay, guys, I think this is gonna be a shorter episode. I don't know if that made any fucking sense. I think I've been all over the fucking place. Sorry about that if that's how it's been. I think maybe all of us are feeling that energy. Like, this shit sucks right now. Like, and I will leave us with some positivity. I'm gonna do a tarot reading at the end of this. But I feel like this has been a time where I've been very inward and being very spiritually, like, sifting through where I feel like we are collectively and where my life is going and how I see my life going and who I can be, and, like, just reassessing what I want out of life And I think, well, that kind of has to, like I mentioned, like, my best friend's going through a breakup, so then, like, we're just having a lot of very intelligent conversations. I think breakups are, like, the best thing ever. Like, saying this as someone who's in a very committed relationship, who, like, I want to marry my partner, which is just, like, really, but I think, like, I just feel like, girly, like, if you really, like, can't imagine marrying that man, just get rid of him and move on. Like, holy shit. Like, I just think, like, I love when women break up with their boyfriends, because, like, I love when women get to go through that transformation and, like, transcend the old version of themselves, because, like, women always put in the work to become new versions of themselves. So I just think breakups can be such beautiful opportunities, and so, like, her and I have just been having a lot of conversations about, like, self-transformation, and so, like, of course, then, like, I think, well, for my best friend and I, like, when we first met, like, I was going through, like, I was breaking up with literally, like, all of my friends from high school. That makes me sound like we were, like, polyamory, like, basically fucking, like, those, like, it was a fucking weird situation. That was a joke. That didn't come off as funny. But no, my friends from high school, I was, like, cutting them all off. And so that was really transformational for me, because I really based my identity for a while off of, like, who my friends were. That was, like, a huge thing. My identity was very invested in who am I friends with, and what does that mean about me, and all this stuff. And I very much made my identity around it. And I think that's the thing of, like, it basically, you should break up with your boyfriend if you feel like your relationship, or any friend, any relationship, you should break off any relationship where your entire, like, if you feel like your identity is too wrapped up in the other person, like, that person is something that defines you, like, vastly more than anything else in your life, then, like, you gotta get rid of that person, and you gotta figure out, like, who you are on your own. Because it's, like, I think, and that's when you're in a healthy relationship, is when you don't define, like, who you are based off of each other. Like, everyone, you have such your own personality that people are like, oh my gosh, I see why you two complement each other so well. Like, you both have your own things going on, and they're either very similar or very different, but then, like, that's who you are, and, like, I see why that thing would love this thing. Like, it's not just like, oh, you two are so cute because of who you are together. Like, you two together are the personality. Like, if your whole relationship is based off of, like, the personality that you guys have, like, because of each other, then, like, toss a baby out with the bathwater. Like, am I using that correctly in this term? I don't fucking know. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm scared. Actually, all over the place. I just had too much caffeine, I think. I had coffee earlier this morning, and now I'm having my energy drink to get through the podcast. So, whoops. Too much caffeine. I'm the hamster on that goddamn wheel. I feel like this whole episode has felt like, Crazy Frog. Like, that's what's been playing in the back of my head this whole time. Like, but I feel like also that's just, like, coming off of being sick. Just, anyone get that? Anyone get that when you feel fucking crazy after you were sick for, like, a week, and then sunburn? Like, I don't know, my brain is actually cooked and fried from that, maybe. Actually cooked and fried. They put my brain in the microwave, and this is what happened. Sorry. Okay. Breakups, transformational. I feel like what I've heard from a lot of people, though, is that a lot of people, that's just the energy. We're in a transformational period. We're redefining ourselves. And I think that's beautiful. And, the great thing about me and my partner is, like, him and I have very different interests, and we're very different people. We have, our morals align, and our goals align, and our sense of humor aligns, and our empathy aligns. So, like, those things are the same, but, like, who we are inherently as people, like, we are so different. Like, and I wouldn't even say, like, it's not, like, I don't want to put, like, a trope on us, because I think we're more complex than that. Like, we're not, like, if we were grumpy sunshine, like, I'm grumpy and he's sunshine, but also at the same time, like, sometimes I'm all bubbly and then he's moody, like, we switch, we take turns, it's dynamic, but we're very different as people, so it's, like, and people know me very much for, like, oh, like, Brinley's, has these hobbies and does these things and is, you know, like, she collects this, and then with Reese, it's completely different. It's like, yeah, so, I'm saying a whole lot of nothing, I'm sure everyone's annoyed, like, just stop saying you're saying nothing, like, you're actually talking, I don't know. Sorry guys, it's really just, like, the honest hot take of where my brain's at. Let's do this tarot reading. I think that's all we need. Let's be encouraging. Let's see what, I feel like this probably needs to be said to me as much as it needs to be said to you guys. Where's my tarot cards? They're right here. I found them. And also, like, this room is so cold. I have to get out of here. Like, guys, this, like, window has, like, we can't get it to close all the way. It's, like, 30 degrees outside. Like, we tried to close it. Apartment living shit. And so, like, we put a blanket over it, but still fucking cold in this fucking fuck-ass apartment. Although, I have been really upgrading the apartment recently, which has been nice. I got that, like, faux stained glass, like, you know, like the screen peel thing to put on windows, and it makes it look like stained glass. Really up-leveled my bedroom. Really changed my fucking life, actually. So, yeah, we've been decorating the apartment, and thank God that has been a wonderful, much-needed experience of, like, living in place somewhere that's, like, decorated nicely. Like, really life-changing. Okay, I don't usually do pop-up cards, but that felt right. That felt like a good place where I was being stopped. So, first card that came out is the Three of Pentacles. So, the Three of Pentacles, ooh, ASMR. Three of Pentacles is all about working together, which is what I've been talking about this entire time. So, this is a time for you to form small community, and then it's about, and I, like, this is where I think this is happening in the collective. So basically I'm saying to look for this. Right now a lot of small communities are forming, and those small communities, when we have a lot of them, then they can team up with other small communities, and then we're much bigger communities. So we're in that first building block of that community building, and right now, right, this is about you and, like, 2 other friends. And then you and those 2 other friends have other friends. And then they have other friends, and, like, furthering community. And, like, you know, that saying that you're always 7 degrees away from someone. You're only 7 degrees away from someone. Like, that's so very true. And we need to start embracing that and, like, really figuring that out. So, like, right now this is really a time to look, like, as a spring is coming, you need, like, find a community and just go there to, like, with the goal and objective of, like, learning how to feel integrated in the community, okay? Then, another 3, we just got the 3 of Wands. So, it's also time to really invest in yourself. Invest in your own journey, and you're investing in the community, but almost, like, selfishly. Like, you're doing it with the intent of bettering yourself. Because if you can show up better for yourself, you can show up better for the community. And understanding that those things are integral. Like, actually, it's really interesting if you look at these 2 cards next to each other, because it's, like, one guy readying off on his journey, while, like, these 3 guys work together. So you would think that these 2 things are, like, inherently different, and that those are, like, 2 different tasks, but they're actually the same task at the same time. You have to take this journey of self-improvement so that you can be a part of the community, okay? Like, this is, you almost have to start thinking about things, and we've been told, like, we've been made to think, like, selfishness is something that it's not. Like, oh, it's selfish to invest in yourself. It is selfish to prioritize yourself. Oop, I'm knocking things over. Like, it's selfish to, you know, journey off on your own. But, like, that is the best thing you can do for people around you, is have your own path. And everyone needs to have their own path. Because if everyone was focused on their own path, we wouldn't be in everyone else's fucking business, okay? So it's about being able to embrace community, but embracing your own path. That, like, you are still an individual within that community. It's literally about, like, balancing those 2 things. Is, like, what our next cycle of life is, like, heavily thematically going to be about. So just, like, look out for that concept and how that's emerging in your life, and try to think on it when it pops up, guys. Oh, actually, and it's interesting because now over here I pulled the the 8 of Cups, but it's actually kind of like the same guy, like in the card. Like, you see, it's like the same guy wearing this red cloak. And in this is also showing, like, right, it's the same guy. So, in setting off on your own journey, there's a lot of emotional baggage. Like, this is a season of leaving emotional baggage behind. I definitely have found that recently because, like, certain things I've been experiencing this, so look into your own life and ask yourself, where has this happened for me where I have gotten answers to something I've been asking for a long time? Because I've had this very recently where several different cycles. I had it, like, almost like a 6-year cycle and a 3-year cycle. Like, when I was home, both of those got wrapped up for me at, like, the same time, where, like, I finally got answers to big questions I had about those situations for a very long time. So ask yourself, what questions from my past have been answered recently? And what emotional baggage from that can I leave behind because now I understand it? Like, I think we hold on to things. A large reason a lot of people hold on to things is because they don't understand it, at least for me. And then they're like, I want to understand this so that I can either prevent it from happening again, or so that, like, I can face it. If I can understand it, then you can face it and accept it. And part of leaving baggage behind is just acceptance. It's not actually leaving it behind because it's always going to inform your decision making, but it's how do you leave the heaviness behind and take the wisdom, okay? And that's what, again, this cycle is about on this singular journey of yours, is about leaving baggage behind. And then, okay, and now we also have the 7 of Swords. So this is funny because this card is all about leaving things behind, and this is all about taking things with you. So I think this just feeds back in, like, both of these cards have been very matchy, very easy storytelling. Like, this guy's leaving the cups behind. He's also leaving some swords behind. But it's like you're taking the new tools. You're taking what has been given to you, and you're plenty armed with wisdom. Like, by leaving the baggage behind, leaving the pain of it behind, and taking the wisdom with you, now you are armed and ready to face whatever next cycle of life you're going into. Because, like, right, one cycle ends for another one to begin. It doesn't end so that you can hang in liminality of, like, it's over now. It's ending so that something can begin, and that's what needs to be embraced. And then upside down, we just got the 7 of Swords, and now we have the 8 of Swords, but reversed. So the 8 of Swords is it's 8 swords around a lady who is all binded up. But the swords aren't hurting her. It's like she has bound herself up, and she's trying to tell herself that, like, she's here, like, there's nothing to do, all these swords, I have all these problems. But it's like, that's how you have to start seeing it differently. Again, you have to, like, start carrying the swords as if they're your own. Like, arm yourself with wisdom. Like, no, these are here to protect me, to arm me, and, like, I have overcome them. And realize that, like, the hurt that this situation is causing you, like, these situations we heavily hold on to and use to define ourselves in a negative way, and these negative stories we tell ourselves are only, like, it's not the actual event anymore. Like, the event is over. That is no longer harming you. It is your fear of the event which is harming you, which, again, just goes back to the walking away from, like, emotional baggage. Like, you have to walk away from, like, it keeping you down, accept the situation, and fully, like, I feel like a lot of people, when they have trauma, they're like, that's not me. Like, I'm not my trauma. I'm not what happened to me. Which is true. Like, you are not the traumatic event. I probably shouldn't have used that voice with it. But at the same time, it's like, if you can't accept that happened to you, and that did change you for a while, that did define you for a while, and that's okay. And accepting that and releasing the shame of that and being like, that happened and I survived that. And then that's how you transcend that, and then, like, leave that pain behind. But leaving the pain behind also doesn't mean, like, you're saying it was okay what happened to you, or that, like, you're not against that happening to other people, you know? It doesn't mean you stand for that thing. It just means that you're not going to let your fear of that thing define you any longer. And right now is a period about letting go of fears and transcending and becoming a new version of ourselves. Again, and it is that balance between who you present yourself as in community and then who you are by yourself and what's driving you to show up community in that way. This is really a time to just, like, ask yourself those questions and let yourself feel those emotions and, like, process, accept, absorb, and move on. Like, this is a time of transformation, and right now we're in the destroy period, and we're seeing that globally and collectively also, of, like, everything is being torn down, but we have to remember that, like, and stay, and, like, we have to stay vigilant in creating the future we want to create so that we can do this full, like, metamorphosis transformation both within ourselves and societally. And that might be too woo-woo, but I think if you're here, you're probably pretty woo-woo. That's a tarot reading. I feel like this podcast was all over the place, so sorry about it, guys. Like, again, like, I always try to stay honest with you about where I'm at. Like, I try to film even if I'm having days like this to be like, well, sometimes you just gotta do the thing. And that's alright. You gotta do the thing, it's gotta suck, but even if it kind of sucks, at least you did it. And maybe that's the whole point of the tarot message. But it's cold as balls in this room, and I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed the Yapathon, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys!